The galaxy was silent. For centuries, humanity had spread across the stars, colonizing planets, building civilizations, and leaving its mark on the cosmos. But now all that remained were whispers of their existence, a few scattered outposts, crumbling ruins of once great cities, and the faint hum of ancient machines still running long after their creators were gone. On the edge of a dying star system, aboard the massive Orc ship Elysium, Captain Elias Voss stood in the observation deck staring at the infinite void outside. The ship was home to the last remnants of humanity, 10,000 souls crammed into a vessel designed for exploration, not survival. They were refugees without a refuge, fleeing an enemy they barely understood, the Calith Dominion, a hive mind. Species bent on eradicating intelligent life wherever it found it. Elias clenched his fists as he thought about the war. Humanity had been arrogant back then, believing themselves untouchable because of their technology and adaptability. But the Calith didn't fight like other species. They didn't negotiate, didn't surrender. They assimilated. Entire worlds fell to them within weeks, their populations reduced to mindless drones serving the collective will of the hive. Earth itself had burned under their relentless advance, its surface scorched and lifeless. "Captain?" came a soft voice behind him. He turned to see Dr. Amara Singh, the ship's chief scientist, and one of the few people who could match Elias's determination with her own quiet resolve. She held a datapad in her hands, her expression grim. "What is it?" Elias asked, already dreading the answer. Amara hesitated before speaking. "We've detected another Calith fleet. They're 3 light-years away and closing fast." Elias felt a chill run down his spine. 3 light-years might as well have been 3 meters given the Calith's speed. If they caught up to the Elysium, there would be no escape this time. "How much time do we have?" he asked, his voice steady despite the storm brewing inside him. "At their current trajectory? 6 days, maybe less. 6 days. That was barely enough time to prepare, let alone come up with a plan to survive." Elias nodded slowly, his mind racing. "Gather the council. We need to figure out our next move." 3 hours later, the Leadership Council convened in the ship's command center. Around the table sat representatives from every department: engineering, medicine, security, agriculture, even education. Each person carried the weight of responsibility for keeping the fragile society aboard the Elysium functioning. "We can't outrun them," said Commander Ria Torres, head of security. Her dark eyes scanned the room, daring anyone to contradict her. "Their ships are faster than ours, and we're already pushing the engines to their limits." "Then we fight," growled Sergeant Marcus Kane, leader of the ship's small but fiercely loyal Marine contingent. His knuckles whitened as he gripped the edge of the table. "We've got weapons, shields. We can hold them off long enough to—" "To what?" interrupted Amara sharply. "Die gloriously while they pick us apart. There are 10,000 civilians aboard this ship, Marcus. 10,000 lives depending on us to keep them safe." Marcus opened his mouth to argue, but stopped when Elias raised a hand for silence. The captain leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. "Fighting isn't an option. Running isn't an option. So what does that leave us?" For a moment, no one spoke. Then a young engineer named Lynn May raised her hand timidly. When Elias nodded at her, she cleared her throat and said, "What if we hide?" Everyone turned to look at her, some skeptical, others intrigued. Lynn flushed under the scrutiny, but pressed on. "I mean, really hide. Not just masking our heat signature or cloaking our engines, we're talking about disappearing completely. There's an old derelict station near here, abandoned for centuries. If we retrofit the Elysium's systems to mimic the station's energy patterns, maybe we can fool the Calith into thinking we're part of the debris field." It was a risky plan, but it was also their only chance. After a heated debate, the council agreed to proceed. Over the next 5 days, the entire population of the Elysium worked tirelessly to implement Lynn's idea. Engineers rewired the ships, power grid, civilians helped haul equipment, and even children pitched in by painting sections of the hull to resemble rusted metal. By the time the Caliph fleet arrived, the Elysium looked like nothing more than a forgotten relic drifting through space. The crew held their breath as the alien ships passed overhead, scanners sweeping the area. For agonizing minutes, it seemed like the ruse might fail. Then, one by one, the Caliph vessels moved on, disappearing into the depths of space. Cheers erupted throughout the ship as the threat passed, but Elias knew better than to celebrate too soon. This victory was temporary at best. Eventually, the Caliph would find them again, and when that happened, humanity would need more than clever tricks to survive. As the celebrations died down, Elias called Amara and Lynn to his quarters. "We need a permanent solution," he said bluntly. "Something that ensures humanity's survival no matter what." Lynn hesitated before answering. "There's one possibility. It's dangerous, though. We'd have to use the quantum drive, the experimental one we've been testing. If we activate it, we could jump to a parallel dimension where the Caliph don't exist." "But," Elias prompted. "But," Amara continued, "we don't know what we'll find on the other side. It could be uninhabitable, or worse, it could already be occupied by something else." Elias stared at the two women, weighing the risks. Finally, he nodded. "Do it. Prepare the drive. We'll make the jump tomorrow." The next day, the entire population of the Elysium gathered in the main hall to hear Elias's final address. Standing before them, he felt a surge of pride, not just for himself, but for every man, woman, and child who had fought so hard to keep hope alive. "Today," he began, his voice echoing through the chamber, "we take a leap of faith. We leave behind everything we've known, the stars we've explored, the worlds we've built, and step into the unknown. But remember this. Humanity has always thrived in the face of adversity. We've faced extinction before, and we've risen above it. Together, we'll do it again." As the quantum drive activated, the ship shuddered violently, and the world dissolved into light. When the glow faded, the Elysium emerged in a new universe, one filled with vibrant stars, lush planets, and endless possibilities. For the first time in years, Elias allowed himself a smile. Humanity wasn't just surviving anymore. It was thriving. Against all odds, against every enemy, humanity had endured, and damn, did it feel good.